Wow, who turned on the lights, man? Lights on, but nobody's home. Hey, this is about open chords and bass lines. There's a lot to cover. I'm not going to be able to cover it all, but I'm going to give you a little hint to how you can get better at it. And, I'm Colin Daniel. I'm from riffninja.com. And if you really want a detailed lesson, you'll have to purchase one of my full-length DVDs, which will fix you right up. But here's a little taste of what I like to do. If you know just a few open chords like G, C, and D, those are great chords. I mean, they sound great on the guitar. And there's lots of options to the bass notes, which is what I'm talking about. They're used in a lot of different types and styles of music, although I'm more in a countrified mood here with my acoustic guitar. This can be applied to the electric guitar, and it can be applied in many different styles. I'm just going to cover a few things. One of the most important bass notes to remember out of the chord is the root note. Like for example, the G chord here, that's my G. That's the root note. That'd be the most bestest bass note for the G. For the C chord, which is my other chord, there's my C bass note, my C root, right? That's a great note too. I like to cheat sometimes. I'll play a C like this, and then I'll play the lower G bass note with it because it's in related harmony to it. But there's C, and that's its root note, the C right there. And here's D, and its root note's an open string, the 4th string. And now you can kind of have some fun with it, and the first thing you want to do is just strike the bass note and then strum the chord. You know, go to the C, to the D, back to the G. Now, like, you might want to play it 2 times in a bar, like. So what you're doing is you're substituting one of the bass notes for something you'd normally strum, right? So if you look at the bass note as an enhancement to your strum, that helps a lot too. Usually a good thing to do is start with the bass note because the strum is a little stronger, and let the bass note ring over your chord so it emphasizes it more. If I just go and then strum the chord, it doesn't sound as good as if I go let the note ring out over top of the chord. In the end, that's what makes that full, rich sound. Now I'm going to use one more chord just because I'm going to get bored of just G, C, and D. But I'll show you what can be done. Now I like to alternate my bass lines too. And you'll find that pretty much, like in this G chord, the top 2 strings, the 6th and the 5th string are really good. Always start with the root though, that's my rule. Start with your root first if you're going to do a bass line with your chords. Okay, so I'm going to go G, and then the 5th string overplays the 3rd, which is a B. Now here for the C, I'm going to go, and you can play it this way too. If you can't get that, then you can play that higher bass note, which is on the 4th string. I prefer the lower one, just because I'm in the mood for that today. It's not wrong or right, it's just whatever works. And the D, here's a cool thing. If you strum a D chord and you play all 5 strings, it doesn't sound very great. Listen. That A is like really drony. But when you just pick the notes separately, the A works really good. So this is what I do. I go first, I do the root, then I'll do the A, the low A, which is actually in the D chord. It's just that the low note on the guitar kind of cancels out the rest of the chord because the low note's so strong. So your best bet is to pick it individually, and then it sounds really good. So I'm going D and then A, open D and then open A. Now I'll put them together. We'll try that one more time. Of course, I like to add all kinds of other bass notes in there. If you know your scales really well, you can use those. But root's the first thing, okay? One more time, I'm going to do one more thing. Yeah, so there you go. You can kind of see there was pretty simple, straightforward single note root bass line that went with the chord strumming really nicely, and it emphasizes and creates a little bit of texture, and that's what you want to do. And the other one was the alternating bass line I did just before it. So have fun picking those bass notes on your chords. And I'm Colin Daniel from riffninja.com. And hey man, lights are on, but nobody's home.